Buell versus Revival. You can just go to YouTube later on today and you will see it. Either way, finally it's time for some StarCraft, man. Over here on the right top side of Frost, we have our red Protoss player. Of course, the scoreboards are a little messed up, but he is indeed the one and only Arthur, representing Team ESC Icy Box. You know, a very, very long time ago, man, I played a tournament in the Icy Box in Berlin.
And you won it.
No, I was casting, so I did not play.
But you said played.
I know, slip of the tongue.
Why would you lie to the people?
Because I like to think that I was a player too. It was the NGL finals of Warcraft 3 in 2007.
And you can probably name all 8 players that were there.
I know I did interviews with Grubby, I think Todd was there, Lucifer. I think it was a team league, so 4 Kings, Meteor Makers, maybe Mouse Sports.
That's more than 8 players.
Yeah, there were quite a few guys there. And I think, no, Fnatic wasn't there. Oh, I don't know. Long time ago, Ben. Of course, in the right bottom side of the map, we have our Taiwanese Protoss, who's a very exciting Protoss. He is the Yowie Flash Wolves, Haas. And Haas has already dropped a gate. Oh my god, I think
the Roddy stream.
No, the Maximus Black stream, Ben. When it's a 10 gate opening, I can guarantee you that Haas has been watching Maximus Black stream, and this is a dangerous build. If you wonder why, well, this is just gonna hit very hard and very quick, much quicker than before. And this is really important already. Arthur, of course, Ben, our red Protoss on the right top side of the map, is scouting in the wrong direction. This could cause quite some troubles for Arthur, because by the time that he sees this, he will not be able to tell the difference between a 10, 11 or a 13 gate. However, he's gonna have to play very careful. And if you ask me, what do I remember from Arthur's playstyle? Arthur is the type of Protoss player that normally opens up with a 3 gate, but let's say that it's a double gate opening into one more, which is a much more economic version than the 10 gate that we're seeing over here in the right bottom side of the map from Haas.
Well, it's going to be a very fast cyber core from Haas. He's mined with 3 probes for a little while, and then he pulls one of them off gas. I guess he wants to get just enough gas for a warp gate and a mothership core, or maybe an early stalker.
Yeah, of course. You want to get a stalker, otherwise you can't protect your probe. That's going to make its way across the map. For silly as it sounds, for Haas is actually kind of good at his scouting last, because it doesn't really matter what he sees. He's going to send that probe out immediately anyways, because he is committing to this. He's going to drop 2 more gateways soon. He's going to spend a lot of energy on this cybernetics core. And for Arthur, it did matter a lot. But on the other hand, Arthur is opening up rather safely, Ben, but he's still going to have to micro his ass off, as we like to say, because this is not easy to hold. And he's still completely unaware that this is coming at him. And, well, if this stalker
is just not going to know, man. This stalker's going to come out right in time to see this probe.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
That's going to keep Arthur completely in the dark.
No! Good! Well, wow. No, that's a big mistake.
Now, suddenly that's a huge tell.
Wow, I'm shocked by what we just saw over here. This was not supposed to happen. I guess he's just like sort of prioritizing his probe, but I think this is a mistake from Haas. Either way, we'll see. Arthur is going to work on that probe immediately, and he's going to get it. Wow, what a fantastic start over here for Arthur.
No pylon out on the map? Oh my god.
This is really bad for our Blue Protoss Haas. Yes, he does have these 2 units here, but with 2 units, you're not going to win this game. There's no need to pull those probes in this phase, I think.
I guess he doesn't realize
that there is no other probe anywhere nearby.
Yeah.
That's true. We see. Wow, Haas, perhaps a little nervous, Ben. He looked so solid in WCS America Challenger League. But these were 2 pretty damn big mistakes already in this phase in the game. Now he's just going to transition because he realizes that this 3-gate pressure is going to be way too late. But his entire build is thrown off. He has no pylons right now. He's supply blocked. He could have already had 6-7 units right now knocking on the front door of Arthur. However, you know, he has nothing. And Arthur is transitioning into a Stargate.
Yeah, pretty quick Stargate down for Arthur. And with these sentries on the ramp, there's just no chance of Haas doing any damage at all. So we see Haas warping in a sentry of his own. He's going to just sit down here and contain for a little while. That's not necessarily going to help him against the Oracle that's coming.
Yep. It should be an Oracle. It could also just be a Phoenix opening. I think either would actually be fantastic, because I think that he scouted everything correct. He scouted the 3 gates. He might be a little worried that there is a Twilight going on. So Oracle is the safer version. However, there will be a robotics facility being wiped in. So I actually think Phoenix play from this position would be an excellent decision for our Stargate player, which is of course Arthur.
Mothership core makes its way into the main. Sees a single stalker waiting, and another stalker being warped in. So that is at least enough to chase away the Mothership core. But once again, it's not going to be the greatest deterrent against the And the Oracle.
As long as it's one base against one base, it's not all too bad. But all of the units are out of position. Of course, Haas has absolutely no idea that he's playing against the Stargate.
Does he see the Oracle?
He has not seen the Oracle. I was looking from his vision. Mothership Core.
Oh no, and those Stalkers just left. So there are
really
no anti-air units waiting in the main base of Haas. He doesn't have his Mothership Core there. He doesn't have energy for a recall. This could just be curtains.
Yep. Oh, that Mothership Core from Arthur is right there
What is
in
this
the
Oracle
open
doing?
and just dies. Oracle starts working on the mineral line over here, and his core is going to deal a lot of damage. It's kind of bad that he lost his Mothership Core, but it shouldn't matter that much because Arthur still has plenty of force field energy. There is nothing that can break force fields. All he has to do, Ben, is not mess up. And we all know that it is pretty tough in PvP as people mess up. I do not like this robo positioning at all, by the way. I think that's a pretty big mistake over here for Arthur. Because Haas is going to be able to warp to work on this robo from the low ground. Wow. What is this game, Ben? I'm so surprised.
It's interesting to say the least. The Oracle killed 14 probes well, 13 in total, and then that scouting probe also died early on. That means it's 26 harvesters against 13 right now, which is going to make it virtually impossible for Haas to...
There are 2 stalkers over here from Arthur as well. Where did those 2 stalkers come from?
He warped him in on the low ground and walked him all the way around.
Well, I guess that's one way to work with it. Either way, like Haas can still not break this ramp. Fantastic economic position for Arthur. Losing that robo is really sloppy, unnecessary, and he shouldn't have dropped it over there. But in the end, well, he could potentially lose his Mothership Core. I wonder if he photon overcharges, if he covers this part. What do you think? I mean, he lost his Mothership Core as well with 200 energy. That Void Ray has been taking a lot of damage. Arthur is going to try to drop some force fields from the high ground, and
this is just a kind of an ugly game, to be honest.
Yeah.
As neither player has played perfectly.
The type of game only a mother could love. The type of game I play on my stream and then my mom tweets at me.
And that answers your question. Photon Overcharge does cover.
Yeah, he could have done that before if he wouldn't have lost his Mothership Core.
But
either way, Haas is just going to try to recover from this point on, Ben, and he's doing a reasonable job in doing so. Of course, Arthur is in a little bit of an awkward position as well because he had to remake his robotics facility, and he has nothing, like he also has nothing to break force fields. So that contain that seemed not like a problem a while ago is slowly but steady turning into a small problem because the army of Arthur is not very mobile and he can't really leave his base. Well, normally, you know, he could have just already dropped a Twilight, maybe make a bunch of Blink Stalkers. There was pretty much no wrong decision for Arthur.
At this point, Haas has actually expanded. His worker count is now comparable to Arthur's, 21 probes to 26, and I'm sure that probe production will continue for Haas.
I'm not surprised, by the way, that Arthur is going to try to just send that Warp Prism across the map. It could do some damage, but there's also a chance that it doesn't do all that much. Well, you know, that's still not going to solve your problem of dealing with this container unless he relies on this Warp Prism forcing a big recall. And I guess if he warps in 4 more units, then we already have 8 and then maybe 4 more. But if he loses all of those units, is that the right way to get rid of your contain? I'm not sure about that. Like, there's a big chance over here that Arthur is going to lose a lot of units as well. I wonder how this is going to go. This is kind of a bizarre game.
I'm sure it's just going to be a matter of time before we see that recall. All these units at the base of the ramp have not moved yet. Oh, this Nexus isn't actually done, so if there's a recall, I'll have to recall up into the main. And that is a bit of a headache.
Yeah, but if he wipes in a bunch of Stalkers, he's going to wipe in a Sentry. Is the force field going to be in time? That's a reasonable force field. As soon as these Zealots are dead, these Zealots doing a lot of work on this Immortal. And Haas still refusing to recall, Ben. He's going to try to defend with Gateway units.
Warp Prism's going to come forward, and this has to force the recall. Now we see that Mothership Core moving. There's the big recall going down. The entire army of Haas returning home, and his Nexus stays alive. Arthur's forced to disengage. I have no idea who's ahead right now. This is just insane.
56 army supply for Arthur against 45 for Haas. So army supply is still slightly in favor of Arthur, but you know, slowly but steady, I'm starting kind of to dig the army of Haas.
Void Ray Immortal Zealot off of one base. Going to be attacking into what is essentially a Zealot Immortal army. Kev, there aren't very many Stalkers.
We have enough energy for a Photon Overcharge though, correct? Yes, we do. I mean, this army from Arthur hits very hard, but force fields are also very strong against it. Warp Prism is a little bit exposed. I love the positioning over here from Haas. Arthur knows it, so Arthur starts working on these rocks.
Mothership Core! Time Warp's going to go down, and well, those are good force fields though, and that section's off an Immortal and a lot of Zealots. Void Rays do charge up and come forward. That Immortal has been... Oh, he's going to go down.
Arthur's army looks pretty terrifying over here, and he still has that War Prism. How many force fields do we have left for Haas? He has like roughly 4 to 5 with 4 or 5 force fields to work with. The new Immortal will walk down, but the force fields from Arthur have been excellent so far, man. That Void Ray is taking a little bit of damage. Photon Overcharge is going to do a lot, but I think that Arthur might just have enough units to fight in range. Great force fields again by Arthur. He's been doing a phenomenal job, man, in using his force fields.
Yeah, his army control has been absolutely top-notch. Here comes Arthur. He's going to try to end the game here. The last Void Ray does fall, but there are still 2 Immortals, and Haas is going to tap out. Good game gets called as Arthur is going to take game number 1. Hard to call it spectacular fashion.
Yeah, this was a very sloppy early game, I think, from both players. Like, there was no way that R2 should have lost his Monitor Core. There was no way he should have dropped that robot that close to the ramp. There's no need to do so. But Haas on the other end, opening up with the 10 gate, then you want to do some serious damage. You want to do work with that. And there are 2 priorities. One,